Hey everybody, it's Tony Schiavone of All Elite Wrestling, and this is True Hill Heat. And I said it right, you motherfuckers.
All right, ready when you are.
Hey guys, I may have go away heat, but these guys have true heel heat. So you better listen to the podcast or else I'm gonna kick you in your fucking cock and balls.
Welcome to True Heel Heat, the place where we use insider terms because we think we know what the fuck we're talking about, even though we don't. My name's Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I'm better than you, and you know it.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment channel, as well as True Hill Heat's Facebook and Romeo's Twitter for our Agatha All Along Season 1 review, breaking down the latest Disney Plus series from Marvel, the MCU, really pretty much the sequel to WandaVision here with Agatha All Along, and we got to discuss it. So to do that, I am joined by my true heel sister herself, the princess of all the true heels, Miss Krssi Love. How are you doing?
What's happening? What's going on? Are we going down the Witch's Road?
We're going down the rich. I don't. You probably could do the song better than me.
I don't remember the song, but I remember that's the hook. We're gonna go down the Witch's Road. So down the Witch's Road. That's all I remember.
It was just a made up song by her.
Yep.
And her.
If you watched everything, yes, it was just really made up. But yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yes, we're going to discuss the Witch's Road indeed, as we're going to break down Agatha All Along Season 1. We'll call it Season 1 for now. It might be the only season, but we'll call it Season 1 for now. We're going to talk all about it, all the twists and turns down the Witch's Road and everything else in between. We appreciate y'all if you are joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. Let's drop the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your Agatha All Along or MCU family, friends, and fans, and of course hit the subscribe button. We are slowly approaching 1,000 subscribers over here on True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment, and we'd like to give you this entertainment content talking about the different shows out there. We still got a couple of more shows that we have to knock off our bucket list, but Agatha All Along is what we're talking about today. And sound off in the live chat if you have watched Agatha All Along, or if you haven't, let us know why you haven't. But if you have, you can give your thoughts, your hot takes on Agatha All Along season 1 along with us. We love to interact with all of you guys. So sound off in the live chat if you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. But Krssi, Agatha All Along, how familiar were you with Agatha from like the comic books to, you know, what happened in WandaVision, and what made you watch the show?
I just remember her as the neighbor from next door on during WandaVision. I'm not familiar with the comic books because I didn't read comic books. Sorry, friends. But I remember who she was from the story of WandaVision and how much we love that and how much she was the annoying neighbor. So yeah.
That is fair. Yeah, I wasn't too familiar with Agatha a lot until like WandaVision. After WandaVision, I did some of my research to learn about her in the comics, and that she never looked like Catherine Hahn, but
Who is hot, by the way? Like, it gave me a newfound like respect for Catherine Hahn. Now, mind you, she's been like in a bunch of like movies and series and things like that. And I was like, she's really a pretty lady, and she can act her ass off.
this series though, this might have been her best role. This is a role
She was definitely made for this particular role from the WandaVision all the way to her own spinoff. And yeah, this was made for, I believe she is Agatha. And Agatha is her.
Exactly. I don't see her as Catherine Hahn anymore. She's Agatha.
Oh, she's Agatha. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, we're gonna talk all about it. So let us know what you thought. Yeah, my familiarity, like I said, it starts from WandaVision, and then I kind of did further research on Agatha, but I kind of knew what direction they would go with, but also did not know what direction they would go with this series, because there are certain stories that you could tell with Agatha that are Agatha-centric stories, and I like the characters that they added in, and one of the main characters at the end of this whole thing as well. So love that, and love what it can follow up on coming out of the series. Let's go through it pretty much character by character, give our thoughts and what we thought about their whole arc throughout season 1. And let's just start with Agatha. Agatha Harkness, she was basically starts off the series still in the curse from Wanda at the end of
waking
Wanda.
Up from the curse.
Yeah, that had her still playing the annoying neighbor, and but it further developed into basically a parody of all the detective shows and stuff like that. And she was a detective in Westview, and they found a body which was supposed to be Wanda's, and it meant that the curse was broken, but it was due to who we would affectionately call at first Teen breaking into her house to steal her little locket. And then he basically read out like the cure or the solution to the curse, and it basically knocked her back in. And then we had the whole scene with her going through all the nosy neighbor costumes that she had throughout WandaVision, and then eventually coming out as Agatha. And then she had a fight with Rio, who was shown throughout that episode as like her ex-lover that was coming back.
Ex-nemesis.
Yes, so they had a little fight at the beginning, but she said that she would let the Salem 7 get her first, and then she'll get the rest, whatever, like that. Right. So that was basically episode 1 for Agatha. Then episode 2 was basically Teen convincing Agatha to go down the witch's road, and that she needs to get her a coven to do that. So they go around and they meet Jennifer Kale, who was played by Sahiri Zamala. She was working as like a fragrance seller, wasn't she? Like a perfume seller or something like that.
Really?
Or like, was it lotion or body wash? It was like something like that. She was selling. She was a saleswoman.
She was a saleswoman. Oh, in the store. Yes, in the store, she was selling. What was it, jewelry? I don't remember.
I think it was like it was like lotions and like face wash and stuff like that.
And a little local like
yeah. But they also go to see Lilia Calderon, who is basically working as like a fortune teller, and they convince her to be a part of the coven. And then finally, they get Alice Gulger, which is basically she was working as a security guard at a mall. So those were the coven that they put together, but they didn't have a green witch. So Agatha decides to get Mrs. Hart. Mrs. Hart was also Sharon Davis. Got it. She corrected her. Her and Mr. Hart are not together anymore, so she's
Yeah,
Sharon.
she said that from day one. She's like, "You sure?"
But yes, we go. They go and they are the witches' road. So they go and they're singing the song. She teaches them all the song. Alice's mother basically did a whole rendition in the 70s that made it even more popular. And they sing the witches' road. Then Agatha tries to get them all mad at her so they can hit her with their powers.
So she can absorb it.
Yeah, because that's what she
She does
does.
any power. Yeah.
But the Salem Seven come to the house and they come looking, I guess, for Agatha or for Teen, because Teen starts running downstairs, and then miraculously the Witch's Road opens up. They open up the Witch's Road, they walk down it, and then each of the Witch's Road they basically go through different tests and hurdles that they have to come across. Like one is for
trials and tribulations of the curses that they have to now break in order to get down the Witch's Row. And they all have to pass them. Everyone has a different test that they have to pass to get to the ultimate goal, which is to down the road.
Yeah. So Jennifer has hers with like potions. Then you have one for Alice where they have to sing the Witch's Road song. They have to be a band together and they have to sing the Witch's Road song. You have one for Agatha where the ghost of her mother comes and he's like ashamed of her, which leads to Agatha killing Alice. And yeah, every one of these obstacles, these stages of the Witch's Road, is basically caused death for one of the people there. Like
one of the witches, yes.
One of the one with the potions, Sharon Davis died. The one with Agatha, with her being haunted by her mother, she absorbs Alice's power and kills her. Then you get
by accident. She didn't mean to do that one.
She didn't mean to. Quote, unquote.
She was sorry in the end, though.
But yeah,
her intentions were to do so, but she didn't. But when she seen what happened, she was really sad and sorry about it.
Sorry. Yeah, all right. But
no problem.
The death of Alice is the one that triggers Teen, who all this time he was basically saying that he wanted to become a witch, that he wanted to unlock his power. That's why he wanted to go down the Witch's Road with them. He wanted to learn from Agatha. But all along, he had power himself because he just invested three witches into the freaking dirt and mud. Two of them went down to like a lower level of the Witch's Road while Agatha stayed with him, and they kept going down the Witch's Road because he apparently wanted to go down there to find his brother Tommy. So we get like a flashback episode for him, but that has less to do with Agatha and Agatha's heart. The next trial they have to go through is for Lilia because she's like the fortune teller of the team, and that leads to her murder. We'll get into that when we get to Lilia, and then you have the three that's left is Jennifer, Agatha, and Teen, who is Billy Kaplan, we would learn. And they basically have to get over what's holding them back, what's holding back their power. So we find out that Agatha was part of the people that bounded Jennifer. So she has to do like a ritual that unbounds her. So that sets her free and she escapes the Witch's Road. And then for Billy, he wants to see Tommy. So she takes him back and takes back to when Tommy basically went into someone else's body like Billy did at the end of WandaVision when Wanda broke the hex. So that leads to them, and then it leaves Agatha on her own with Riho, who we discover is another character. We'll get into that when we get to Riho. And they have a battle. It leads to Teen, who is now Wiccan, who comes and makes the save. But in the end, it's Agatha who at first looks like she's going to betray Teen because she's Agatha. But in the end, she actually sacrifices herself by kissing Riho, and then she dies, and then it basically leaves Teen for him to be let go by Riho. So that was kind of the end for Agatha's arc, and then we're revealed at the end that Agatha is now a ghost who is hanging out with Teen, and that the Witch's Road was Teen all along, or Billy, or Wicked. He has like 3 different 4 names. Yeah. We'll get more.
I was like, so I sat there. I was like, so you're telling me we sat here all these episodes and this stuff wasn't even real?
Nope.
Like this was all made up? Like
When
his
he went
mother,
into his room,
WandaVision?
all the proof was there.
And it was all the. You're right. She was a ghost the whole time. You just like, what? How? What do you mean? Like, how did this all happen?
They weren't ghosts. He killed these people, but he
Yeah,
has
that's what I'm saying.
his witch powers is so strong that he made his own Witch's Road.
Like I'm saying, he just made up like the whole witch's role part, and everyone like was casualties of him making this all up.
Yep.
Yep.
That's why he had to deal. He's the one that killed them all. He thought it was Agatha this whole time.
Yeah.
But it was Billy all along.
Who is Wanda's son? Like what? How? And his whole origin of stories. But yeah.
Yeah. But what did you think about Agatha's arc, and also the last episode, which had Agatha? We learned a little bit about the backstory of Agatha when she gave birth to Nicholas Scratch, which was her son that died, and that the whole time, the whole season, they made it sound like Agatha did something horrible to Nicholas Scratch to get the book of the dark hold book. But we found out that she was told from before he was born that death was going to take him away at some point. So she just lived her life. He was sick. He was always hungry. She couldn't always provide for him because all she wanted to do is kill witches all day.
All day,
But eventually death comes and takes Nicholas away, and Agatha just becomes even more ruthless in taking witches' powers, and that's when she uses the song that her and her son made up, down the witch's road, and she uses it to basically steal witches'
power. Yep.
Decades.
For decades, yeah, and she just would keep recycling the same thing and doing it over and over, and poor witches would follow her. But it was just sad to see how ruthless she came, because she had nothing to live for anymore. So that's what she figured out. I might as well just, kill everybody in sight and just take all their power so I can be powerful, since I don't have anyone else to like work with. I mean, be here for anyway. I'm going to eventually not be here, so I'll keep doing it until I can't do it no more.
Just rock. Yeah, that backstory, I feel like the pacing of the episodes, I would have switched it around. I would have ended.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been. That should have been like the second episode or the first episode.
The second to last episode, and then the last episode is when we find out Billy made the road the whole time.
Yeah,
like
I would definitely change that.
That last episode, it just felt out of place to then go all the way back after we just found it out in the last episode.
Correct. Yeah, I sat there. I was like, wait, so she had a son and she's been killing witches, which we already knew, but now you're showing us this. Like, you should have been like, this could have been it definitely shouldn't have been the last episode, because I feel like that was like a wasted last episode. Yeah. If you're gonna tell the story correctly.
I was like, you gotta put that in like the middle of the season. You should have even done like it back to back with the Billy backstory.
Yeah.
That would have
been easy, like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Not the last episode, but whatever.
But overall, I think they did a good job of giving like a little bit of sympathy for Agatha, but also at the end of the day telling us that Agatha is a horrible person and she'll always be the villain.
Yes, absolutely. But it is what it is. But we know who the true villain is, but we'll get there.
The true villain, yes, we got to talk about him, is Billy, Teen, or Wicked, however you want to call him. And I think, like, since the early going, I think when they introduced the character and the fact that every time he said his name, it had the whole sigil over his mouth. They wanted to create some type of mystery with like his identity and who he was. Because I think like some people at first thought it was Nicholas Scratch, like reborn in
Mm-hmm.
someone else's body, or Agatha's son, or they thought it was one of the Maximoff twins because it was like either Billy or Tommy from WandaVision, because they kind of set up that Agatha had some sort of relationship. It was like the babysitter for the twins when they gave birth, being the neighbor to Wanda and Vision. So we eventually get the whole reveal because they give us the backstory episode where we see how Billy and Tommy, they were telling each other goodnight, and then on the other side in Westview, I think, or Eastview, Westview, I think Westview is where the hex was. So Eastview, in Eastview, you had Billy Kaplan, who was a kid who was having his bar
Kid, a
mitzvah.
teen. Mm-hmm.
He was having regular life. He then has a
Had a
fortune
boyfriend. Yep.
teller at his bar mitzvah who is actually Lilia, and she's the one that gives him the
Puts
sigil
in the
because
hex, in the sigil. Yep.
he sees his future. She sees what's going to happen to him, and she's trying to protect him from
Mm-hmm.
Agatha.
Supposedly. And he needed protection from himself. That's the damn problem.
But yes, they find out this is when everything's happening with the WandaVision at the end of WandaVision with the hex breaking down and stuff. So his family tries to rush home and they get into this car accident where basically Billy Kaplan dies and Billy Maximoff comes into his body. But he doesn't know who he really is, but he knows he's not the same person he was before the car accident. Eventually, we go past 3 years. He's now, out of the closet. He's fully gay with his boyfriend, and I mean, out of the closet, fully gay. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know if that's not the proper way to say that. I apologize, but
No, it's fine.
but him and his boyfriend talk about how he's felt like he's not himself or not that person. And he basically shows him all of his research about the Maximoffs and everything that happened with the hex in Westview. And then they meet up with some guy from Reddit, Bonerific 3000 or something like that. And it's Ralph Boner. The old the fact that they brought back Ralph Boner, I was just like, oh god.
You got to recycle some old characters and like tell this part of the story. So you have to bring some old characters back to life.
This is true. Who played the role of Wanda's brother in WandaVision, hired by Agatha, and now he's escaped and he's a conspiracy theorist, and he's telling them about how Vision is off and everybody's saying Wanda's dead. But she was like, that's the sons. They are probably alive somewhere. They're doing something. And that's what it kind of makes it click for him.
Triggers.
That he's Billy Maximoff. And then he comes up with the plan to go take the locket from from Agatha and break her out of her curse so she can help her go down the witch's road.
Evil.
And we eventually find out that he created the witch's road.
Yep, it's evil.
Because he is a powerful wizard, being the son of Wanda. And he came up with the whole witch's roll, or he put it all together himself. And that led to most of these people dying, outside of another person who's probably responsible for all the people dying down the witch's road. He doesn't realize this until he's finally done with the witch's road. Agatha's dead, and he comes back into his room and he sees everything basically from the witch's made up. The witch's road is in his room, and he finally realizes that he's the one that put the witch's road all together. He's the one that led to everybody dying, and Agatha is behind him as a ghost. He tries to banish Agatha, tries to use the locket to banish her, so he never wants to see her again. But she tries to take the locket from him, and it falls down, and she picks it up. And I don't even get why he decides to not banish her now. He got sympathy for her, and they decide that they're gonna go on a road trip or a trip to find Tommy for Billy.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
whole
this is the
ending is
part.
just so
The
off.
whole, right. I was just about to say the whole ending of the way they did it was just kind of backwards. And I think this is where the downfall of the series is, where it plays in it started off great, but then it just either was rushed or just ended uncertain, if that makes sense. Like it just was certain things that should have been like told to us earlier, but then they waited. It just didn't the puzzles or pieces didn't go in together. The math didn't math up. The math wasn't mathing.
Math wasn't mathing for sure. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird the way it ended. I don't know if you take like the last part of the last episode and you put it with the episode previous to that. I think it was episode 8. If you put it like that, maybe it makes more sense. But yeah,
Yeah.
still it's just very confusing, very perplexing how they ended everything. And now
Or just
Wiccan's
don't even tell us it. You know what I'm
his,
saying? Like just don't
his
even have it
sidekick.
there.
You're gonna have Wiccan with Agatha as the sidekick, a ghost sidekick.
And like his room looked like a whole like crime scene, like where they trying to like piece the puzzle of like the whole like crimes that he was the one that committed.
Pretty much. Pretty much. He just did it all in his head, apparently. I think
Well, we know where he gets that from, though. So
his mother is Wanda Maxwell. Just saying. Just saying.
Yep.
All right. Now let's go through some of the other characters that we had here, part of the Coven. Lilia was probably my favorite, and I think that episode 7 with Lilia, like finally putting their powers together and with the flashbacks and everything, I think that's the best episode. That's the best episode of the season.
I think it was one of the long ones too, because I think that all of them were like kind of short. That was like one of the longer ones, and yeah.
Yeah, because they kind of like told us a little bit of her backstory. They had different conversations with her where she's talked about like this is the first time that it really felt like her powers were awakening again after a long time. She felt like that when she was a kid. And, you know, we would see her kind of go into these like stages where she would just go off in her head and then come back and say something. And that's how they kind of built up her character a lot. And then episode 7 just brought it all together, where everything she said now made sense because it was out of order this whole entire time. And then just how it was shot, it was just so well done. How it was shot, how it would go from in the present to a flashback to like, okay, this is 10 seconds before the last flashback.
Yeah. They really did this episode really well. Yes, they it was all over the place, but it was put together very well. Like it pieced the story that should have been pieced, like the other episodes. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, if this was the season finale, I would have no complaints. Like they could have ended here. This is where it peaked. And then it had
sometimes you don't need Sometimes you don't need 8 episodes. Sometimes you just need some of their series have been 6 episodes. They were like, that is so short, but you really certain series don't need the amount that they give it to. And I think that this one should have been like a 6 series joint. That should have been like the last episode, and we would have been fine with it, saying, "Oh, this was like the greatest series ever." Fortunately, the numbers got deducted.
I was saying that after episode 7. I was like, this is one of the best Disney Plus joints out there. But then
this had
9, just like, nah, that wasn't as high.
Yeah, because this goes up there with Loki, and I was like, then I deducted the points for it being the way it ended. So Loki's back number 1.
Loki's still number 1. No, you got the number 1 spot safe. It's safe for now.
Yep, for sure. It's secured. It's locked in.
Yeah. So Lilia basically puts all of her certain messes that we saw throughout the season, everything that she had learned with her powers, brought it all together. She was reading the cards before the knives came down, but the Salem 7 was after them. So she basically gets everybody out of Dodge, out of there, and she faces off with the Salem 7. She flips one of the cars, which makes everything go horizontal and everything's upside down. She holds onto the table while all of the Salem 7 go into the knives that were above their head and were coming down on them throughout the episode. And then she finally lets go and she just has a smile on her face, and then it flashes back to when she's getting taught how to be a witch from her mother, I guess, her mother or aunt who was a witch. So yeah, that episode, that's the best one. I think there's no question there. That's the best one of the season.
I agree with you. And like I said, like you said, even we could have just ended the series right there. We didn't need 8 or 9. We definitely didn't need 9, but I mean, whatever.
We definitely didn't need 9. We probably needed 8, but we didn't need 9. Like, after you find out that it's Billy all along, that's probably where you ended.
Yeah, we didn't need to know, like, we already knew that she was taking people's powers. Like, the other witches told us this. Like, they, like, let us know, like, who Agatha was. Like, they've been, you know, fighting against her for the longest. And then, you know, they was convinced to, like, help her. But, yeah, we didn't need to know, like, the whole origin of, like, how she got to be her or whatever. Like, whatever. It didn't. 9 was just very unnecessary. Like, let's wipe it off the board and it completely.
So, yeah, episode 7 was Death's Hand in Mine.
Mm.
So, great name there.
And that's where Lilia falls down from, like, the ceiling, correct? Yes.
Yeah.
Peggy Lapone is her name, I think.
Yes. Great actress. I heard she's like more like a theater.
Yeah, she's like a theater like genius connoisseur. Like, she has Tony Awards. Is this lady? I couldn't fit. And then I seen it. I was like, oh my god, that's what it is. A theater lady. She's like a famous Broadway actress. And yep.
And then you got Jennifer, who is basically was having flashbacks when they were in the nice house of when she got bounded. It was a priest from a church bounded her powers, so she's lived like a witch for hundreds of years, but she's been without her powers since she came across them in Salem, Massachusetts. It wasn't until the end that we found out that Agatha was the reason why her powers got taken away. She worked with the church to take them away from her, and she got unbounded and was the only witch that survived the Witch's Road and made it out and started flying at the end. I was like, what the hell? So what did you think about Jennifer Kale as a character in this show?
Jennifer was, which one was she? Is that the lady from SNL?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I thought she was great. I thought she was perfect. And then, like, to see her at the end and, like, still, like, be like one of the lone survivors was good. But I think her character was great. I mean, she would always give Agatha a fight. Besides her arch, that was another one that was like another arch nemesis of hers. I feel like, she was really, really good. And I was like, oh, girl from SNL, that's great. Like, I love to see them doing other stuff outside of just like comedy and just like they get in their acting skills and give them like more of like a push. She was like my second favorite.
I would say Lilia was my first favorite, and then it would probably be Jennifer out of the
out of all of the witches. Yeah, the Covenant. Yep.
Alice Wu, like I said, her arc kind of ends after I think it's like episode 5 or 6, but she had a nice little arc before that talking about kind of generational curses and like her mother had a curse that caused her to die, and now Alice felt like she was going to be in the same path as her mother. She has her own trial where they have to like do the song that her mom used to do in the 70s as a band, and she has to overcome a generational curse monster, and it burns her shoulders and stuff like that. So that was a nice little episode, especially the performative fans will like that one for sure. But eventually it's because of Agatha. She unlocks her power, but
and steals all of it.
She dies because she uses her power on Agatha to save her from her ghost mother.
Yeah, and then everyone was really mad at her, Agatha. And Agatha was like, what did I do?
She couldn't control herself.
Yeah.
Agatha, like, what do you want me to do here? She threw her power at me.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
the
I'm the victim. She really tried it though.
Oh man, she was just so oblivious to getting the blame for that.
Yeah.
Just expecting to keep going down the witch's road with her.
Pretty much.
Then you got Sharon Davis, which of course for us a long time that 70s show fans. That's Deborah Joe Rope, who played Kitty on that
Hmm.
70s show and that 80s or 90s show. I forget what was the other one called.
She's another good actress. That's cute too.
Yeah, she always can have that role of kind of like the aloof older lady now. But yeah, she was not on here for long. She went down the witch's road, tried to help them out, but because they needed a green witch, and she was up out of here about like 2 episodes in.
Yes. Oh yeah. She definitely was.
Poor
Wasn't
Lily.
meant for her to go down the road. It was okay.
No, no. But she
Wasted
was
good.
replaced as the Green Witch by Riho Vidal, who is played by
Hmm.
Plaza, and this was revealed to be Lady Death,
Going.
which is one of like the more important like villains and dark figures in the Marvel comic books, and now it's come on screen. It's now live action with Rio Vidal playing the role of Lady Death.
Going.
It's huh? Oh, I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
I
Okay.
thought you were talking
No.
to
No.
me.
No. No. No.
But yeah, Lady Death was an ex of Agatha and was really kind of the cause for a lot of the deaths in this whole Witch's Road. Like even when they were doing the Ouija board and it went to death, and then she just started laughing maniacally. And then
With the evil, diabolical laugh.
when Teen got was about to die, she's like looking at him, looking like she's so hungry
Hmm.
for his dead body, and
For his
Agatha has
soul.
her, please don't, please don't.
I think
So
that's when you seen like a part of Agatha that was like, oh, she does have kind of a heart, maybe ish.
no, she doesn't.
No, you didn't get that
But
from that. Okay.
she wants the Teen at the end of this, but Agatha, looks at first she says she's gonna give him up, but yeah, Riho told Agatha that he has to come willingly. He can't be
Hmm.
tricked into it. So she basically does trick him into saying that he'll give himself up for Riho, and then Agatha's like, okay, so yeah, he'll take him. I'll be fine. I can go
I keep
now.
going
But
down the roads and then I can, yep, get my stuff. Let me go.
instead, she sacrifices herself for Teen and kisses Lady Death, which causes her death. But Lady Death is still around. She's still gonna be around, and I think she's gonna be probably being a presence in some future Marvel films. What did you think about Aubrey Plaza playing the role of Rio Vidal and Lady Death?
I loved her as this. Like she always plays these type of kind of roles that's kind of like mysterious, but also like antagonizing to people. And she's hot. Like she's definitely could as an arch nemesis, but antagonizing Agatha throughout the whole time.
That is true. That is true. She was the perfect match for the vibes Agatha was giving off. It was Riho. She was the perfect balance for that.
Hmm.
And that the fact that they were exes, it was built into that kiss.
Right, they were that too. Yes, I was like, okay, of course they're gonna be lesbian lovers.
Of course, Agatha's a lesbian. Of course, that's why she always wants a coven.
Yep.
But yes, that was the main characters from the show. So outside of like episode 7 that we went over, what's kind of like your favorite episodes from this season that you saw?
Where's the one where we find out about Billy? I mean, what's his name? Tommy?
Billy.
Billy. Sorry, Billy. was that episode like 4 or 5 where we find out who he
Yeah, I
is?
believe it's episode 4, if I'm not mistaken.
I had like episode 4 because it gave us kind of like the backstory of like who he was, but then we found out like who he really is like and how he got the covet on his like he couldn't say his name or whatever. How Lilia gave him the covet. Um, so yeah, I think that was one of my that's like my second favorite one.
Oh yeah, yeah. Episode no, it's episode 6 because episode 5
Okay,
is when he first shows his power.
okay, okay. Oh yeah, that's where he had like the purple like headband like at the end and when he realized that he had power.
Yeah,
Right. Okay, so then it'll be 6 then.
yeah. I think that one, episode 5, is probably my favorite one outside of 7. Just the
Okay.
reveal that he's Wiccan because he has the
Mhm.
crown. That's like
Yes.
Wanda, and
Yeah.
then you also got the stuff with Agatha and her ghost mom, and then you know Alice who dies. So it tells you that the stakes is even rising because killing Mrs. Hart is one thing, but
Right.
killing someone who is like kind of viewed as really part of the coven who had
Mhm.
powers, that was a big moment in the show. And then
Big no
with
no, and this when everybody
not
was like, "You're not fucking
blasting
with
the
us."
witches was crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so you like 5, I like 6, and then we like 7 altogether. Okay,
Yeah.
so that just
Seven,
shows that those, huh?
7 is obviously the best one.
Well, yeah, that just shows like that should have been like the last 3 episodes.
Good point. Good point. I like 8. 8 is good.
8 is good.
If that was
It's
the
just
finale, I would have been fine with that too.
I actually thought it was going to be the finale. So when we had 9, I was shocked to be honest. I was like, "Oh my god!" I thought it was over because it kind of gave you like the ending of like kind of gave like perception of like a last episode if that made sense. And then when I came and I was like, "Oh, you got another episode to watch?" I was like, "Oh crap! Okay, great." But I thought it was going to be 8. But hey,
It didn't help that they came out on the same week, 8 and 9.
true, true, true. Because yeah, they did release them back to back. That's right. So it was
Yeah,
weird that we had but I just like stopped watching it. And I came back like the next day and I seen it was on there. I was like, oh okay, cool, great, no problem. We'll watch it.
we're down for the cause. There we go.
Yeah,
But yeah, they may have misjudged having 9 episodes. That was a
yeah.
misjudge. Or you just move the order of everything because honestly, episode 9, outside of the last part with Agatha, Ghost Agatha, and Teen.
Team. Yep.
Other than that, you could put that at the end of episode 8, and it's the same thing.
Correct. Correct. Just make it a extra longer episode, and season finales are usually longer episodes anyway. So there's no issue with it adding an extra 5 to 10 minutes on there. So it would have been perfectly fine for us as a watcher.
I will say though, despite us, criticizing the finale, this finale was better than the last one with Power Book 2 Ghost.
True.
At least they tied all the knots that they put us in. At least they
True.
solved everything. They
That
didn't
was
leave
great.
anything
Unquestioned. Uncertain. When you're right, you're right, SB. When you're right, you're right.
Damn shame. Damn shame. But yes, we've come to the end of our Agatha All Along retrospective recap review. So you think that this show would be slightly behind Low Key for you?
Yes, absolutely. Loki's still number 1. Sorry.
I think Low Key is still number 1. I think What If doesn't get the credit that it deserves.
Yes, I'm actually what no, we have to talk about What If because What If new season is about to come out soon. No, What If is really, really good. Okay, fine. It has to be Loki then What If because I'm excited. I always like to see like the
WandaVision was
scenarios
really
that
great.
they
WandaVision
No,
was great.
WandaVision was great too. Okay, fine. All right, what did all the series that they did? Now
Well,
we're
I
going
don't,
down a
I don't
rabbit
know
hole.
if you just count MCU or anything Marvel, because I would put Agatha. I think you can say Agatha All Along on its own. Maybe it's on par with like What If. I think like
Right.
if you everything Marvel that's on Disney Plus, the best show is X-Men 97. Then I would
Okay.
go Low-Key,
Low-Key.
then WandaVision, then Agatha All Along, then What If.
What If? Okay. Okay. That's fair. Um, then I'm trying to think of all of the series.
Miss Marvel is pretty good.
Miss Marvel's good with the girl. Yes.
That was good. Falcon and Winter Soldier. I like it more than others, but I don't think that was great.
I think the worst one was She-Hulk.
Oh yes, I agree.
That was the worst
She-Hulk.
one.
The only one who might be worse than She-Hulk is Secret Invasion. That was trash.
Oh, I forgot about that foolishness.
Secret Invasion. Everybody was hyped for that. It was Samuel L.
And who was
Jackson.
it? Samuel Jackson. Yeah, finally get his own like little spinoff. I didn't think it was that bad.
Messed it up. They messed it up.
Okay, fine.
But that stupid fight at the end, Krssi, when the girl is got the Hulk arm and stuff like that.
We didn't need
That
that
shit
part of the
was horrible.
episode.
It was horrible.
But it showed him and his wife and the alien child. Well, the wife is an alien, right?
Yeah, everybody fucking aliens out here in these streets.
All right. Okay, number one. I'll go low-key.
It's She-Hulk, Secret Invasion, bottom of the list. Those are at the bottom.
Okay, fine. WandaVision for sure is number. Okay, WandaVision, Loki, Agatha, What If? Oh, 97. Yes.
Yeah, X-Men 97. That's the best one.
Okay, yeah. Should we vote this or rate this? What are we doing?
Yes, we're gonna put our thumbs in the middle for Agatha All Along, season 1 in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board, I believe. Yep, there we go. Krssi Love, out of 10, what did you give Agatha All Along, season 1?
I would have given it a 9, but I'm giving it an 8.
I am right there with you. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. If you had asked me after episode 7, I would have said 9 to a 9.5. That's
yep.
how hype it was after episode 7. But sometimes when you try to put 2 episodes out at 1 week, it's gonna have one weak one good one, and unfortunately for them, the weak one was the last one. So
I feel like the release of episodes now we said this during the Bel Air one. Once you start releasing like 2 episodes or 3 a week, that's when it gets a little like unbalanced for us fans. Like release the whole fucking season then.
Exactly. If you're gonna do all that, release the whole season. I saw people talking about like The Bear for like a week though. When you do it that way.
Oh,
when you can talk about it for like months, if it's came out
episodes, right.
More people probably have talked more about like the Penguin and X-Men 97 because they did that one a week.
Correct. And left everyone in like suspense and like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Give you more relationship with the characters, whereby you watch it all full, and some people watch it all at once, or you could take time and watch it within a couple of days or a week. It just gives you like, it doesn't talk about the series long enough. So yes, I think the whole like releasing all at once, then doing it week by week does kind of like hurt the series per se sometimes.
Yeah, I agree for sure. But still, I do think that this was a good series. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for me. MVP for season 1, who was it? Krssi Love.
MVP, I like Lilia.
Okay, that's a good one. I'm gonna go co-MVPs for Agatha and Wiccan. Billy.
Okay.
I gotta call him all his alias every time I talk about him. Wicked Teen Billy. I think that they kind of are the winners at all this. They made it down his road.
That's true.
They're now a tag team with Ghost Agatha working with Wiccan, and we're gonna see what their next adventure comes. Where it comes, we don't even know.
True. All right, so I'm gonna change mine to Agatha then.
That's fair.
That makes sense.
That's fair.
LVP.
I am going to give it to I'll give it to Agatha's mom. And I'm gonna give it, unfortunately, to Alice because she was the first expendable witch.
That's what I was gonna say. Alice never had a chance. She didn't make it down the road at all. So I'm going to Alice.
Going with Alice there as well. But that's going to bring us to a close on our Agatha All Along Season 1 review. I want to thank anybody who's watching us live, watching us on demand. We appreciate y'all. Drop the thumbs up on the video. That helps out the algorithm over here. And I want to thank Krssi Love, as always, for joining me for these reviews. We got The Penguin to do, The Penguin Season 1. I just finished that over the weekend. Can't wait to talk about that season finale there. And then we also got
to talk about that season finale.
We're like
had me
late, but we're gonna get it done still. The Bear.
The Bear, yes. We'll get it done eventually, for sure.
Let everybody know where they can follow you on social media when they will see you again.
You guys will see me back here on Saturday for our flagship show for True Hill Heat on our other channel. Other than that, you can follow me on some watch-alongs, some reviews, and on the other shows with my partner SP3. Other than that, you can follow me, Krssi Love _1, True Hill Krssi Love on Twitter, and just my plain old name on Facebook. Thanks.
You can follow me on the Twitter machine at True Hill SP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at True Hill Heat. Patreon.com/True Hill Heat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. The best place to support us when we are not live here on the main channel. Go over to the main channel, check out all the great content we got over there, like True Hill Heat 302 from this past Sunday, discussing all the latest wrestling news, including who is the most important member of the OG bloodline. We had a good conversation about that on the flagship, so go check that out. Check out our NJPW Fighting Spirit Unleashed 2024 review as well. And I will be back on the True Hill Heat Wrestling YouTube channel with Jimmy Macaram, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time with AE Ramble, the best AEW Dynamite review in the land. But for Krssi, it is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been our Agatha All Along Season 1 review. We are signing off until next time.
Later.